you can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Yay! Good morning.
Yay! Good morning. I love that intro. I just have to say, it's so true. We try to live with that every day. It's just a great reminder how our show starts. So thank you for that.
Yes. I'm so excited. It turned out today. But isn't that what this is all about? I mean, here we are figuring out our own flow, doing what we love to do because we love to do it.
Exactly.
We want to help other people to figure out, how to show up every day, find meaning in your life, how to show up and do what you want to do, feel good about what you're contributing to the world, learn and grow in whatever challenge that you're facing. And so I'm just grateful to be on this journey with you. And I'm excited to go from our very first live stream on Monday to see where we are in a month and to see where we are in 6 months. And, to be able to watch that journey. And I think it'll be really great for our viewers also and our followers and our community, because they're going to be able to see what it looks like to really create flow in a career, because that's basically what we're doing right now.
Yes. And the process of, you have, every time I watch myself, I have to critique, don't shake your head, don't do this. There really is a lot to, looking back at yourself and say, why did I do that? But you can only go forward and grow and do better. So ditch the rest, like you said.
It's an important aspect of living in flow, really being able to have that feedback loop, right? So trying something and then being open to feedback. What worked? What didn't work? How do we make it a little bit better tomorrow? How do we not trip over that same rock again, like you would say? And that's part of living in flow, is being open-minded enough to be able to take feedback and to be open with yourself, like seeing, oh, I could have done that better, or, oh, we could do this better.
I learned that just in the few Toastmaster classes that we've gone to. Really helpful. It's hard, but it was really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone so much for being a part of our community. And thank you so much for being here. Today's question is, how do I shift my perspective? This whole week, we've been talking about perspective and attitude and why that is so important to living in flow. So if you want to live a life in flow, it's really, really, really important that you can have an open perspective. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to do some role playing. I'm going to pretend like I'm the person who wrote this question, who's coming in. I'm just going to create some circumstances. And I want you to hear how we would troubleshoot. I'm going to pretend like I'm the person, and Shelly's going to coach me through how to have a more open perspective. So does that sound good, Shelly?
Okay, let's do it.
So let's pretend some things might be true in this story. Let's pretend that here we are, October 7th, 2020, and I am a mother. I've got kids that I am homeschooling, and it's a struggle, whether they're little kids or older high school kids, but doing this sort of online school is a struggle. Right now, the media is just bombarding us with news from all sides. Vote this way, vote that way. If you don't do this, our world's going to fall apart. If you don't do this, our world's going to fall apart. I mean, there's just so much information coming in. It feels so heavy. Our times right now, it feels like we're just on the edge. Like any day now, we're going to tip one way or another. So you're home, you're wearing masks everywhere you go, you're struggling, maybe even with employment or with work, you've got kids that are home. It's like when it feels so much and it feels so heavy, saying to someone, oh, just find the good. There's good in your day.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
It's a little bit hard to do that. So, Shelly, what would you say to someone, regardless of whether you're in that position, maybe you're at school, you're in college, but it just isn't the college experience that you would want, or you've recently graduated and now you're in the workforce or trying to even be in the workforce, and you have all this pressure. How does someone shift their perspective, and why is it even important? Like, why not just stay in this space that I'm in right now, or that, whoever the person is in right now?
First of all, I would say I totally understand where you're coming from, and I hear everything you're saying. You're overwhelmed. It's just too much. Really, what I would do is I would start out my morning when you wake up, like just breathe for a minute and think over what you have to do for your day. And if you are really, even from the start, too overwhelmed, I would just, even for a few minutes, shelf it. I just put it on a shelf and I take some deep breaths and I think, if I'm overwhelmed, how am I going to get all this done? And I'll take my dog for a walk and I'll just listen to music or a really positive podcast, even such as ourselves, and really just take in what I can control, which is just make it simple, go on that walk, look at the pretty flowers, do it early. Because when you do it early, everything's quiet and you can really just have this peaceful moment. So shelving it for a minute and doing something to distract you. And then second of all is, I would say, Eva, what is the most important things? Don't look at the big list. Do what has to be done right in front of you right now. If in 20 minutes you need to get online with your kids, be present. Don't think of the big picture, because then you get nothing done. What kind of story are you telling yourself this morning? Like, this is not going to help you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to sit with your kids. You're going to do the 20 minutes. You're going to stay. Oh, the other thing is, all negativity. Do not have the news on. Do not have anybody that's negative. If the kids walk in and they start complaining, say, up, zip it. I want you to walk back out and come back in and reframe that. Like, let's really catch everybody to not bring in their stuff on top of you. Because as a mother, you're constantly dealing with everybody else's issues on top of your own craziness going inside. And then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
And then once again, I just feel like, I know it sounds really corny, but be grateful that you have your kids and that everybody's healthy. And if you just break it down and say, wow, I get to do this. I get to be here with my kids right now. Who cares if the kitchen's a mess? It'll be there when you can, right? We like, how am I going to get the kitchen done? And who's going to see it? Who's going to care? Your kids are going to care that you were sitting with them and made them feel important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I would tell you. And then take some time for yourself. The other thing is, when you need that little bit of time, or you have to step away for a few minutes, I don't care if it's go in your backyard and just take a few deep breaths and say, okay, what's next, Lord? Or, spirit, whoever it is that you believe in. Like, you got to just dig deep and sometimes just say, I can do this, and you can, and you will. And when it's just overwhelming, my favorite saying is just shelf it, put it on the shelf, walk away, and I guarantee you in a few hours, it'll look a little bit different.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that concept of just knowing you can just take whatever big chunks of things and just put it somewhere, visualize it sitting somewhere, and you can come back to it and handle it later. And if it's something that you don't have control over, like what's going on in politics, I have zero control over what happens. So why stress about it? Why consume myself with it? It can just be so addictive though. You just want to know, and the thing is, you don't even know like who to trust or what's right. It's just so much information coming in that I think you're right.
I don't even right now.
Turning it off, right?
I've turned it off. You know, I just, what just came to mind though, for me is I think back on times where I had to be at work and I have clients that I need to be present for, and something really bad has happened at home. And I've got a lot of craziness going on in my personal life, yet I have to go and put my best face forward. And so I'm not just telling you to do these things. I actually do them. And I would drive to work and I would say a little, you know, I'd talk to God on my way to work and say, God, please be with me. Show me, you know, ways that I can help people. And, you know, I just want to do good. And I'll get there, I'll put my car in park and I'll just say, okay. And I will literally pull down the visor and say, okay, you're going right there. No tears, no nothing. It's done. And when you come back to the car, you can reface it. And you know what? I go to work. I don't talk about my personal problem. I don't recreate it and cause more drama. I don't do anything, because at that point, it's not about me. It's about others. So sometimes when you have to do it for someone else, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for someone else.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of Kobe Bryant. He talks about the Mamba mentality, where I mean, it's different, but it's in the same respect, where when he would go onto that basketball court, he would put on a persona of the Mamba, you know, like the athlete. I'm going in there. I'm going to be fierce and tough. And whatever's happening in my personal life is off the court. And sometimes I think we do need to do that. So whether it's I'm with my kids right now, so I can't be worried about the dishes and the news and the this and the that. I'm just going to focus on sitting here with my child. I'm just going to focus on being on this walk and taking this moment for myself. I'm not going to think about all the things coming in. And
telling yourself stories
in that moment. Right. Telling yourself those stories. When I talked to my sister yesterday, she said she lives in Astoria, Oregon, which is where they filmed Kindergarten Cop and Goonies. I mean, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. And she was talking about how she had a moment where she paused and really realized, I get to live here. There's people who have postcards of Astoria on their refrigerator. And I said, I do. You know, I have a postcard of Astoria on my refrigerator that she had sent me saying, please come visit. But honestly, like when you just really pause and look around and find the good in what you do have, in what is working, what is going well in your life, count your blessings, really hold gratitude. That's something that we started off saying right away with these live streams on Monday. You talked about really being grateful. When I was in my darkest time, the only thing that I could do was every day I would write down in a small little journal 5 things that I was grateful for. And that was sometimes really tough. Sometimes it was just, I had a really great cup of coffee, or I got to take a warm bath. And then other times they were much bigger things, but no matter what, they were truly things that I was grateful for. And there's something about finding sincere gratitude that helps to shift your perspective, and it just changes your energy. And when your energy changes, when you're not coming to your family or your work or wherever, you know, your classroom with all of that anxiety and stress and all the thoughts and all the negativity, you resonate with other people better and more easily, versus coming in with this kind of combative, crazy energy. And it's like this tornado that wants to suck other people in, and then other people start to be negative. And it's really, it's a catchy place to be. Either way, you can either attract in more good and more positivity or more negativity. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, and I'd say the negative is just too heavy, too heavy. Wow. I think we accomplished a good thing today. I hope that, you know, people out there are really just going to try even a few of our suggestions.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love the visor, putting the stuff on the visor, closing it. So maybe it's a visor, maybe it's a box, maybe it's your side.
Yeah. It'll be there. It'll be there when you get back.
That's right. So if you have questions that you would like for us to answer, you can email us. It's settolovepodcast@gmail.com. Please join our community, be a part of our tribe. We would love to work with you, teach you, have you teach us. We know that it's always an exchange with our audience. It's not always, we certainly don't know everything. It's a learning journey for us as well. You can follow us on our social media. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. And we will see you tomorrow at 8:30, where we're going to go over more activities and more ways that you can shift your perspective. Some really fun ideas. So we can't wait to see you then. Thank you, Miss Shelley, my best friend, for being
Yes,
here.
make it a great day, everyone.